you just mentioned this young man's name. Here he is, Badger commit Cole LaCrue. Cole,
Yeah.
the show. Thanks for joining our first ever episode.
Yeah, thank you. It's an honor to be the first ever guest.
So I got to tell the story of how, and I just kind of had mentioned it, but just real, I guess, kind of chance that we, kind of crossed paths here. I know I had retweeted a story about that Cody Rourke had put out during the Packer game. And to be honest with you, I'm not even 100% sure how I started following him. Because we're here in Northeast Wisconsin, about 2 hours away from Madison in the Green Bay area. I don't think he has any connections to Wisconsin. I'm going to be real with you. I don't think he has any connections here, but we started following him, and great Twitter follow. Really nice guy to me anyway. And he put that story out. We'll talk about that a little bit here, but just, randomly retweeted it, threw your name out there, and from then it was on. So I'm glad you could join us, and thanks for taking the time to meet up with us. So, Justin, I'll let you go first. You're our resident coach here. So what do you got for us?
First off, Cole, all right, this is a big time question I got for you, all right? So I really want you to pay attention. I don't know if our fans are going to be able to see this video or not, but in your background, you have a dog that's in the picture. What is your dog's name?
His name's Stitch. It's
Stitch. I like that. I like
yeah,
that. All right, Cole. So my first question is, what has it been like really seeing yourself now blow up over the last couple months? You've risen up the boards on 24/7 Sports in the quarterback rankings. You got the offer from the Badgers. What has that been like to kind of see your recruitment take off?
I think it's a testament to my work ethic. After my junior year, my team, we were 5-6, and I was very disappointed by that. Before that, I only had 6 losses in my entire life, and so just to have 6 in one season was really hurtful. And, I blame myself. I had an okay season in my eyes. Some say I was the only bright spot of our team, but in my eyes, I wasn't happy with it. So I really started working in January because I knew the type of player I was, and I knew the type of player I wanted to be. And so I got my first offer in April from Central Michigan, but I knew that wasn't the place for me. And I just knew what I had to keep doing and keep working. And, if you go back to my last year film, you'll see a lot of mechanics that I didn't really like and not a lot of coaches were very fond to. I looked like a baseball player because I was my entire life. If you were to ask me my freshman year, I was going to be a baseball player. And just to see that my work ethic and everything's starting to showcase, and I'm starting to show fans why I'm the guy for the Badgers, and I'm the guy for people to follow and get behind. It's finally good to see all my hard work pay off. And and I'm glad that it worked out for all my teammates too, man. We went 4-0, we won a state championship, and it's just good to see that everyone jumped on the bandwagon and jumped on the train of working hard and really getting better at what we want to do.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of address the elephant in the room, Cole. Since you started getting recruited, the Badgers have had 3 head coaches. So a wild time, to be sure, here in Wisconsin. So I guess if you could kind of paint us a picture of the whole process of changing coaches, and if you've had any conversations with Coach Fickle of how those have gone.
Yeah, so I started when I first was getting recruited. Coach Chris was the coach. My first game that I went out there was the week 2 loss to Washington State. And so it was a low process for them. I didn't have much contact. Once he got fired and Coach Leonard got the job, that's when talks really started ramping up. And I got to know Coach Leonard pretty well, and I have all the respect in the world for him. I want to see what he does after Wisconsin. And then obviously Fickle gets the job, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really worried about that. I was like, oh God, is that my recruitment's gonna get all messed up? Do I got to start posting all over Twitter again? And I really got reassurance when Coach Fickle called me personally. And he reassured me I was going to be fine. He loves my film, and he's excited to get to work. And I've really gotten to know the rest of the staff over these past week or two. Coach Brown came out to watch my game last week. Max, the recruiting guy, him and I have been getting close. I've been kind of his little intern is what I call it, because I'm going to try and get the best guys to be a Badger. And then Pat, and then Coach Collins, Brady Collins, the new strength coach. I've really gotten close with them. So, I'm excited about the new staff, man. I think we're gonna shock a lot of people what we can do, and I I think the recruitment game is going to be ridiculous for us. I think we're going to have an advantage over these Big Ten teams.
Yeah, definitely. Have you had contact with Coach Longo at all?
So we reached out today. We talked for the first time today.
Awesome.
We're really gonna get into contact this weekend. He'll be there for my official.
Oh, so you're coming to Wisconsin this week?
Yeah, I leave tomorrow morning.
Oh, all right. Hey, are you going to fly in on the same plane that Coach Fickle flew in?
I don't think so. I think I'll just have another airline just fly us in,
Okay.
but that'd be
Oh,
awesome.
So you were saying you've been to Madison, you were at the Washington State game. I kind of want to ask, so when you were in Madison, what did you take away from that visit when you came here?
Man, I loved everything about it. I think Camp Randall it's the best stadium I've ever visited. Obviously, we have a Mile High Stadium here in Colorado, but even playing on it last week, it didn't feel the same as when I walked into Camp Randall for the first time, and it was really impressive. And I love the scenery. I said it reminds me a lot about Boulder, but instead of mountains, you guys have lakes. I love how the Capitol's right there. I love all the people out there were super nice, and I have really high hopes for it because I really did enjoy it the last time with my grandpa.
yeah. One of the questions I was going to ask you is on your visit, who was the person that guided you around, and what was the best part of your visit outside of Camp Randall or the game?
Ooh. So obviously the first guy that ever found me from Wisconsin was Casey Raybach, the
Okay.
recruiting assistant, and he was the one that kind of got me started with the whole Wisconsin brand. And obviously I talked with Coach Ingram when I was out there, Mickey Turner. Those guys were the guys that really guided me around the whole place. But probably the best thing about my visit was actually when I was leaving Madison. I met one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. He was an Uber driver for me and my grandpa, and he actually gave me a lot of insight about Madison, a lot of insight about Wisconsin, because we were flying to the Milwaukee airport is where we were flying out of, and he
Okay.
he told me a lot of the inside details, a lot of the places that we need to go eat, and he was a really good person that I think really kind of stuck with me because I every person I met was just like him, but he was someone that I was actually really impressed by, and it was my Uber driver, so it was a small world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask, what did he recommend that you go eat? Where'd you go? I mean, Wisconsin, you'll come to know Cole, very much known for food. Not that you're of age yet, but beer and cheese. So I'm curious on where you had been recommended to go and where did you end up going in Madison?
Well, so it was when we were leaving is when he recommended all these places, and I had a feeling I'd be back, so it was good. Uh, but he told me to walk on State Street, I think it's called, where it's right there. Basically, it's kind of like Boulder's Pearl Street. It's a lot similar to that. There's a lot of places on there. He told me about Culver's. We have a Culver's in Colorado, but I've never been. So that was actually one of the first places I stopped by when came back to Colorado. Cause I'm like, there's no way this place is that good. But the Butterburgers did get me.
That was one of my
They,
questions.
they,
If you've ever had a Butterburger or knew what it was.
yeah, so I found out what it was. So I'm excited to get another one. It was pretty good. He said the cheese there is really good. So obviously I had to get cheese curds from Culver's. Got that. It was pretty good. But what really struck me about him was the way he just talked about the people. He said every person you're going to meet is going to be lovely. They're just going to be diehard Badgers fan, and that's the type of scenario and type of place that I want to be in. And so I was fortunate to learn more about it.
I'm gonna throw another one out here for you, Cole. If you like burgers, if you like ice cream and whatnot, Mickey's Dairy Bar, just on the
I've
other side,
heard about that. I've heard about it. I heard it's pretty good.
the must stop. I did not get a chance. The last time I was at Camp Randall, actually was Paul Chris' last game against Illinois. That's one of the takeaways. I got engaged that day too, before the game. But Mickey's Dairy Bar, highly recommend. So when you come out this weekend, be sure to check it out.
I gotcha. I'll do my best when they're guiding me around.
You got it. You got it. No, I'm gonna put the pressure on you. You got a couple tight ends going on that visit with you. You got to throw the ball to somebody, Cole. You got to convince those guys. Let's get this thing going. What do you think about that?
I'm excited about it, man. I think we got a great group of guys coming in. Obviously we have some commits. This is more skills weekend. But we got some guys coming in, and I've already been texting them. All the other recruits are. But I want guys that can ball, and I want guys that are buying in. I don't want guys that just want to come out here and take the pictures and just say, "Oh, I visited Wisconsin." So I've been really on that. And these guys are the guys that we're bringing in this week, and I watched their film, man. And if they want to become Badgers, I'd love to have them. And I think we could do something special here with Coach Fickle.
No, I'm sure. I don't know if you've seen this or not. Marcus Allen back in at Wisconsin, took his name out of the transfer portal. What's it like to have a guy with that talent kind of coming back in the fold with the new offense?
I think it just shows you the type of trust that people have in Coach Fickle and the new staff. I think Coach Brown played a major impact with that, the new receivers coach. Because I was very impressed talking to him, but I think it just shows you the type of will, and I think it's just going to show you the type of recruits we're going to start getting now that we have this type of offense. I think Coach Longo is going to do a great job. I think Coach Fickle is going to revamp the entire team, and I think we're going to see a new energy, a new spark in Wisconsin we haven't seen in a very long time.
It's been well documented, Cole, you getting told by the former Wisconsin staff that you needed to work on some of your mechanics. What did it mean to you to finally know that your hard work paid off when that Badger offer finally came?
Well, I remember vividly. I was it was Halloween day, and we just kind of had talks all day, and they're like, "Yeah, we want to set up a call with you right now." So I remember I hopped on the phone, and that was actually one of the first things they reminded me of. Is Coach Ingram goes, "Cole, do you remember the stuff I told you to work on?" I was like, "Yeah, you want me to work my footwork, you want me to keep my back foot down, you want to work tighter spiral, tighter mechanics, and just be better all around." He goes, "Well, Cole, I'm going to tell you some good neuz. Your work's finally paid off. You have an offer from Wisconsin." I just remember I was at practice with my
Awesome.
guys, and I just was sitting out there, and I told him, "Fuck yeah, let's go." My bad about the language, but that's the
You're good.
exact thing.
We don't censor, so.
Yeah, that's the exact thing that's the exact thing I told him. I was so fired up. I just told him, "You got the best guy that you're gonna be very happy about this one day."
So I'm going to ask Cole, for people who haven't seen you play, haven't seen the highlight tapes, haven't seen the state championship game, what does Cole LaCrue bring to the field? What does Cole LaCrue bring to the Badgers?
He brings a winner. He's a playmaker, man. And I'm a guy that's willing to risk it all for a play, man. I truly live every play to by its last. Last week I suffered an injury, and I told my coach, "You're gonna have to rip these clothes off me if you're gonna think I'm coming out of this game." I'm a guy that's willing to do whatever it takes. I'm not your typical quarterback. If you want to drop 8, that's cool. I'll run all over you. We're gonna suffer you there. If you want to bring 5, that's fine. I'll torch you through the air. I'm not your typical 7-on-7 quarterback. Is what I tell people. If you want, I could do that for you. I could sit in the pocket and dial you up. But at the same time, I have the ability with my legs and the ability with my baseball background to make plays happen.
So to kind of shadow that, have you styled your game after any one quarterback or any kind of combination of quarterbacks?
This is funny. Johnny Manziel, 100%. Johnny Football. That's one of my.
Money.
Exactly, man. I watch his highlights before every away game. His Heisman highlights in the year after, and it just he's the type of guy that I just obviously I want to be better passing the ball than him, but man, I just love the playmaking ability he has and just the cockiness and the swagger he has. I love it. And I think that's a guy that I have kind of the same moxie to him as well. But I'm Cole LaCrue, man. I don't want to be like Johnny Manziel. I want to take play like him, but I'm going to have my own little flair with it. And I think I am a better passer than him, and I can do more with my arm than he could.
Well, that's a huge point for me. I got you can't see it here, but to my other wall here, I've got my signed Johnny Manziel jersey and picture right below that too. So big
That's
game
awesome
here. So you sold me already. Not
So I've got a question. My question would be, what was the difference between last year to this year that led you and your team to a state championship? And what was it like playing on Mile High Stadium field?
I think the biggest thing from last year to this year was the leadership and determination. I was a junior last year, and I had a lot of say. But when your junior is the best captain on the field and your seniors are not doing anything to help other guys, there's going to be issues. And so this year, I came around with all the seniors after our exit meeting with all the guys, and we said, "Thank you, seniors, but get out the room." And so all the guys that were going to be seniors, we stayed in the room. We talked like we can't have this happen again. We were disappointments. And literally in January, we started in the weight room, film room. I started teaching the guys stuff on the board, just kind of identify things you can take advantage of. And, we really just started working together and getting better and better. And it was a process from January, and it finally paid off. And playing at Mile High was very emotional for me. I had season tickets there my entire life, from the point I was 2 years old all the way till I was about 15 years old. I went there, and I love the Broncos. I'm a diehard Broncos fan. I remember it when, I actually, my number's 18 because we signed Peyton Manning the offseason that I was going to play football for the first time tackle. And so I've been a diehard Broncos fan my entire life. And it was emotional because it was my last time being at Mile High was with my dad. And then my dad passed away about 2 years ago to COVID. So it was definitely emotional being out there, but I wasn't going to let that affect my play. I know I had a job out there, and I knew it was just another game. For all the other guys, there's a lot of oohs and ahs, and for me, it was like, give me the football, let's start ripping this thing. And so it was. But after the game, I ran over to where our seats were, and I kind of broke down. All the emotions got me, but
Yeah.
it was for sure one of the cooler places I played at.
Wow.
Yeah. A moment you'll never forget in your life, Cole. Well, congratulations to you on that moment. Hope that holds true in your heart forever, and what that meant to you. My last question here, Eric, is off-season time. We've got a lot of things going on. We're going on visits. We're talking. You've probably got a whole bunch of people in your ear. Are we in the weight room? I'm a football coach now, Cole. So you're talking to a football coach. Are we in the weight room? Are we on the board with some of the Badger coaches? Are we looking over the playbook? And you got to have a little fun time in there. I'm a coach that believes you got to be a kid yet too. Are you playing PS5? Are you playing PS4? And what you playing on that PS5, PS4?
All right, this is gonna sound kind of dorky. The only game I play is NCAA Football 14. I have my Xbox 360 in the room. It's the only game I play. I'm not very good at other video games. I don't like the new Madden. I think Madden's stupid. I'm not a big fan of like all the Call of Duties and stuff. But man, you get me on my NCAA game, I'll start doing some Road to Glory stuff, and I just love it.
You're doing PS3.
No, Xbox 360, but PS3, yeah.
Yeah, you're right though, man. I'm 36 years old and I'm still rocking that NCAA game. That game is the greatest game ever made.
No, it was definitely it's cool that they're coming out with a new game. That was something that it was kind of a really cool moment because my brother found out that I was going to be in the game, and he was like, "Dude, I gotta buy this. I'm gonna play you." He says, "I'm gonna try and beat you every time we play you." I'm like, "You can't do that. Come on, play with me. Let's win a chip." He goes, "All right, maybe." Because I got two brothers. One's a 16-year-old, one's an 11-year-old. So the 11-year-old was the one that was kind of fangirling about it.
Okay.
But that was really the moment when I was like, "This is really real. It's really happening."
I was gonna say, what's it like that you're gonna the game's coming back, so you get to be in the game. That's one of my favorite games. I play that nonstop myself too. So.
Oh, I'm probably gonna boost my ratings up to where I think I'll be. I'm definitely gonna put myself as a starter, and I'm definitely gonna lead us to victory. And kind of envision it for the future.
So I'm gonna ask,
holding that Heisman Trophy, Cole.
Holding the Heisman, holding the national championship when we win the playoff, man, it's really exciting.
So I'm gonna ask you some hard hitting questions here. Not really. Some fun ones. So, who was your go-to team on NCAA games?
Oh, the Buffs. I was I grew up a Buffs fan, and so obviously when I had them in my top three, it was definitely tough to pick over. It was definitely hard to pick Wisconsin over CU, but I'm glad that I did. It was the best decision for me.
And so, also, I'm assuming, are you Colorado all the way through? Nuggets, Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, I have like second fans, and so like
Rockies.
I unfortunately, yeah. But like I grew up watching Aaron Rodgers, and so that's kind of who I also like kind of switched my mechanics to, more just kind of flipping the hips, not as much with your back leg. But I loved watching Aaron Rodgers when I grew up. And then other teams that I really enjoyed watching. For baseball, at least, I was a big Astros fan before the cheating thing happened.
Yeah.
Then that kind of ruined my fanhood to them. And then basketball, even though the Nuggets weren't great, I always grew up a Nuggets guy. And then once The Last Dance came out, I ultimately, MJ is the greatest player of all time. So I, ultimately got another respect for the GOAT of Chicago.
I don't know if I'd agree with that. I'm more of a
He's a big LeBron guy, Cole. I'm with you, Cole. MJ.
Oh my God.
MJ all the way, Cole.
Exactly. You got to go MJ. LeBron, I get he has but he's a crybaby is how it is. He's a crybaby.
That's what I like to hear, Cole. I love you already. I can't wait to see number 18 in the crimson red with the big motion W throwing touchdowns. You're gonna be the Wisconsin MJ, Cole. I'm excited for it. Eric's got some questions that are real hard hitters now.
All right, so I'm not sure if this has been done with you or not before. Wisconsin has some really tough city names. So I'm going to find, and I do apologize here, I'm going to try to do this in real time. I'm trying to find a list of some harder to pronounce Wisconsin city names, and I want to see how you do with these. I'm sure this is going to be a very frequent thing. I think I've been to Badger games where they have the guys pronounce this, or it's been on TikTok or whatever. So I'm going to try to throw these into a chat and see how you do with these, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right. So first one is my hometown, where Justin currently coaches. So that's the first one for you.
Gillette?
Not bad. Gillette.
Okay.
All right. How
Not
about
bad.
Justin? You got any other ones here too?
I don't have them up, but I've got a question. What is North Broomfields?
Go ahead,
Did
Justin.
you see what is their mascot?
We're the Eagles.
The Eagles. Okay, so Southern Door. Okay, got it. All right, Eric.
Ashwaubenon.
So that's pretty close. That's Ashwaubenon. That is where the Green Bay Packers stadium actually is.
Really?
Yep.
It's actually half of it is City of Green Bay, half of it is Village of Ashwaubenon.
Oh, that's cool.
All right.
Eric, you're doing really good at this too, by the way. I just want to say that.
Thanks, Justin. How about what do we got for this one?
Kakana?
Kakana.
Almost like the receiver from Bishop Gorman that we're going to try and recruit.
Stretch? Yeah, I'm working on him right now.
Yeah, I love it. All right, you got another one, Eric?
Not readily available, but I've got a couple here that I can find here.
You got a couple around the Madison area. You got Stoughton. You got Middleton.
Just Wisconsin just got a lot of places that are just hard to pronounce.
Yeah, we have a really odd history background. So we've got a lot of Native American. We've got a lot of French. Like the first one we did was Gillette. That's French. So that's a big one. How about this is in the Milwaukee area?
Ooh.
This one. This is even the tough one from that area.
Racing?
Close. Racine.
Oh. Okay. I feel dumb, I feel dumb because I feel like I should.
You're doing great. You're doing a lot better.
Oh man. Mukwonago?
That's probably close.
That's really good. Muck. That's it. That's the only difference.
Mukwonago. Kewaskum.
Kewaskum.
Hey, Cole, you are nailing this.
Yeah, you are. I want you to know that you are doing better than a lot of even people in state. I'm gonna wrap it up with this one here.
Okay.
This is in the Milwaukee area as well, but this is always a fun one as well.
Sounds good. Oh. Oconomowoc.
Oconomowoc.
Okay, hold on. I read that wrong. Okay, Oconomowoc. All right, okay. Now that if I read that right, I'm all good.
So
that's awesome.
One last thing for me before we kind of wrap up. When you're in Mile High, was there any certain locker that you went to in the locker room?
We weren't allowed to go to the actual Broncos locker room. I guess they let no one in there, not even like family or anything. It's weird. But we were in the visitor one, and I asked them which one was Tom Brady in, and they told me which one, because they kind of made it a little special one. So I made sure I was in that one.
And
I'm not a Tom Brady fan. Don't think it like that. I was just like, you know what, he's pretty good at football, so might as well have a little hope here.
so as our resident
The
Broncos,
wrong number 12, Cole.
No, I agree.
Number
I think
12.
I think A-Rod's better, but if you're just looking at statistics and championships, you gotta go Tom.
And yeah, I would have to.
your thoughts on former Badger, now Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson and those struggles that he's had this year?
You know, I'm still having hope. I don't think it's really his fault. I think it's Nathaniel Hackett. You know, because there's glimpses of Russ all year. I think he's been proving it all year that he's still making the plays. You know, I also think that, you know, we're looking at an O-line that's been hurt all year. So I think, you know, this year for us, if we're going to be smart, I think we should rest Russ. You know, even though I don't like resting people, I don't think it's the best thing. We paid this guy $200-some million, and we need him to play at the skill level we paid him to play at. So I think, you know, this will be Nathaniel Hackett's last year, and I think we get a good coach. And I'm hoping Russell performs because, I mean, if we think of it, all preseason, all the talks for Russell's being a stud out there. And, you know, we just didn't play like it this year. And I don't think it's his fault. You know, we've had a lot of injuries. KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland's been all right, and our entire line's been hurt. And I think we have the most money in the IR right now. So I think it just shows you the type of team this year, and it's not for us this year. So hopefully we can get it back next year. But it'd be pretty cool if Russell would reach out and talk to me about Wisconsin. That'd be awesome.
Well, I will do everything. I don't have almost any swing, but I will do everything in my power to see if I can make that happen.
That'd be awesome.
Is it okay?
Eric makes things happen, just so you know.
Are you going to be wearing 18 at Wisconsin?
Yeah, I want to wear 18. 18 has been the number I've been. If someone has 18, you know, I might try to bribe and give them a couple $100, but if not, you know, I think 5 was my only other number I ever wore in football.
That one's open.
I know that one. I know that one's for sure open. I want to make a name for myself, and I think 18 I could do that.
All right, so Cole, just to wrap everything up here, put a bow on this for us. Cole LaCrue, Badger quarterback. What are the expectations, and how excited are you to be a Wisconsin Badger?
You know, I think people are doubting me, doubting my skill set, and I'm excited to prove them wrong. I'm excited to show them what I can take Badger fans to a new level. You know, I'm excited to get the players behind me, and I'm excited to do a lot of things in my power. You know, I think we can make a playoff, and I want to win a national championship. You know, I want to win Rose Bowls, and I want to bring us back to where I know we can play. You know, I think we've had a couple down years, and I'm excited to take us back where I know we can play. And it's excitement on my part. I can't wait to play in Camp Randall. I can't wait. I feed off energy. So when I have 80,000 people yelling and screaming my name, oh man, you guys are gonna get a great player. So I'm really excited about it.
And some House of Pain.
I love jumper. That was my favorite moment actually. It's when Jump Around came on. I swear to God, I couldn't stop smiling for the whole rest of the day. That's really. I'll be honest. That's really what was like. All right, if I get the offer, I'm coming here.
That's awesome.
All right, yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Cole. I know it's late. I'm assuming you got school tomorrow.
Well, I mean, I'm on my airplane tomorrow, so thank God I don't.
That's true.
He's coming here, Eric. He's got that recruiting visit. We're gonna come out of this weekend with some names. Cole is gonna recruit hard for his guys. He's like, man, at Camp Randall, we're throwing bombs down here with Philip Longo. Man, I am so excited. Cole, thank you so much for being on our show. What a great way to kick this off, man.
I love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you guys so much. It was really a pleasure being on the show.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Cole. I'm Wisconsin, man. Good luck next year.
Thank you. All right.